All right, what we're going to talk about now is the bottom leg cradles. Different ways of getting into it. Let's take it from the single leg to start with. Shot in, posting up, we're going to turn to a bottom leg cradles. Okay, wrestling guy, take your shot in, boom, he sprawls. When there's a single leg, double leg, you get into this position where you're sprawled out and you post up. The concept of posting up is you bring your knees in underneath you. As you do that, you put one hand down. You can't keep both hands locked on your opponent's leg and come in underneath him. From the single position here, you put one hand down between his legs, bring both your knees in underneath you, and then you use that one hand to do a one-arm push-up. Okay? So with that one-arm push-up, we get in the up position here. As I'm coming up, I'm going to post his leg off. Keep a hold of the single that I have here. I come under, fork my fingers, take the leg to the outside. Okay, once I take the leg to the outside, I still control the single leg that I had. I change hands now at the back of the knee. Right hand goes out, left hand comes in. I go elbow deep, knee joint deep. This is the key on your bottom leg cradles. Key to bottom leg cradles. Coaches, spend the time with the kids. Elbow joint, knee joint. You cannot put your hand on that leg and expect to hang on to it. Leg's too much bigger than your arm is. Elbow deep. From here, he goes OS. He starts turning away. From there, all I'm trying to do now is get a hold of him. I can reach up and get a hold of his lat or his neck. I'm trying to keep him from crawling forward that direction. And I do that elbow deep, over top. Wham, get a hold of something. As I start driving that way, I can buckle him up into a bottom leg cradle, take him on over, stay at a right angle, weight off your knees, spread your legs, put limbs on his tree. Okay, he's gonna do it to me now. Same idea. Shot here, he goes in, boom, and sprawl. He puts one hand down, slides in underneath, posts up. Now, my concept is trying to pinch his leg, his head here, hang on as best I can. What he's going to do is he's going to post me off. As he posts me off, here, he changes hands, elbow deep. I go, uh-oh. I start turning down to the base. He comes up, catches my head, into a bottom leg cradle, right angle, spread his legs, off his knees here. Okay, good. So we have the post up from there. Remember on your post up, stay there, single leg, hand goes down, hang on to the single, pull your knees under. As you're posting up, you're coming up. One of the keys for me, you'll have a lot of athletes who have problems when they post up. A guy either figure four in the head, or what's not big enough, or pinching it off and trying to clear the head. As you come up, you've been taught in single or stand-ups, as you're coming up in stand-up, bring your head up and you come up. You look down, you go down. The idea on this is when you post up, if you don't want to get your head caught, when you come up, you keep your chin to your chest. Now this is it's difficult to do, because when you're posting up, you want to look up to come up. But the more you lift your chin up, the easier it is for him to get to load your jawline here with his knees. And when he pinches you off here, it's really hard to push the leg up over the head. And that's when you get caught in there, and eventually the referee goes into a stalemate position. Or calls a stalemate, and you go back up to neutral. But you've already beaten him. You can't afford to let him out of that one. You're going to win that position. So how do you do that? Is you slide forward. As you're coming up, you come up, but you don't bring your head up. You come up this way. You keep your chin tucked to your chest on that. As long as your chin is down here versus here, he can't get underneath your jawline with his knees where your head gets caught. Okay, so sit over here, Jacob, let's go over at the camera. Okay, and here, as I'm coming up, post in, and come up. When you're down here, it's easier to clear the leg off. If you come up with your head up, you get your little jawline. Good luck getting your head out of that one. But anyhow, so we post him off. Now, when he posts me off and he gets me down, so we can go into that bottom leg cradle, what happens if I roll the other way? Then he goes into a navy ride and a bottom leg far cradle. Bottom leg near cradle, bottom leg far cradle. They're still all in the cradle family, does the same thing, puts the shoulders down. Good idea. Okay, so he's on a single here. He posts up. He brings his chin down so I can't get over his jawline. Okay, he posts me off. Well, here, I go, uh-oh. I don't want to turn this way because I think I'm turning into a near cradle. So I turn the other way. And I turn the other way. He just changes his hand here from at the knee over to a navy line. So I can't get back from a navy position. From here, he controls my hand here. He's pushing my arm down as he steps up. He's not allowing me to roll through, okay, until he gets up here. Then he drops down into a Bottom Leg Cradle, okay? You're landing soon, your butt. All right, again, a Navy ride, here he turns away. On your navies, whether you're turning into a bottom leg far cradle or not, the way I like to do it to pick him up is a lot of times what's going to happen is he's going to spin through. My job is to catch him from spinning through. If we're running a 5-yard dash, 10-yard dash, 100-yard dash, whatever, and we're standing on a line, okay, if I had the gun, if I already get started, and he and I were racing, if I had a chance to shoot that gun to say go on the race, I'm going to get the jump off the start. Because I know when I'm going to fire the gun, so I know when to take my first step. I'm going to beat him in a race every time. Whoever fires the gun, whoever says go in a race, wins it. And that's why they have a neutral party firing a gun in the Olympics. So in this scenario, when there's two of us out here, and I have this position, if I'm just lifting the leg, he said, there's a point where he says, oh no! And then he goes and rolls through. And then I've got to react to him starting the race, whether I can catch him. And that's when most kids have trouble with a Navy ride of catching the guy on his back, is because you're allowing him to say go on the race. You're allowing him to spin through. When we have the leg here, and I'm picking it up, I start picking it up, and he starts going, oh shoot. He's already on his belly, and it's too late for me to catch him because he said go in the race. He won that race. So what I'm going to do is say, no, I want the starter pistol. I'm going to say go. So with the Navy here, I put my hand here. I just reach down. It's reverse of an elbow control for a high crotch. Just on the opposite. Here's the elbow control. Same thing. But reverse. I'm holding his arms down, so when I step up here, I'm getting to here. I'm saying, you're not going. He can't turn through because I got his arm. I get him wrapped up. I get him twisted like a dish rag. You know, right, bringing the water out of a dish rag. That's what I'm doing with his spinal cord here. I'm twisting him here. I'm getting him ready. Now I'm going to say, ready, get set, go. And I'm going to let go. And when I let go, he's going to spin through. But I'm already on the race, winning the race. Ready, get set, go. And I'm going to catch him down here as he spins through. Okay, as he spins through, but I started the race. I had the starter pistol. So the Navy, post the arm here. If you're going to turn it to a cradle, keep the pressure on him. And as you're sliding here, look where my elbow's going. Coming over the head. I can lock into my cradle. From here, I probably take a right angle and a bottom leg part cradle. Or I just drop down into a half Nelson. But the key on your post up, on all your post up, when you post up with your chin down and dump him off. Your chin comes up, he gets under the jawline, good luck. Okay, when you're posting down, elbow deep all the time. Elbow deep, and you'll have the cradle. Okay, if he turns away into a Navy ride, you split the legs, and you get the starter pistol. You say go in the race. Over here, trap is the tricep. Right here on the elbow, above the elbow. Holding it down while you pick it up. So when you're ready to go, you let go and drop. Okay, so we can do the same type of thing as we just showed you from the single leg post up. We can do it from a high crotch. So Jake hits on our high crotch. Okay, here, he's down, a high crotch. He does the very same thing. As soon as I hit, he controls the bottom leg, changes it to the other arm, elbow deep. He jumps up to his knees. He gets it to a bottom leg cradle. Okay. So what we're going to do is show you 4 different takedowns here. And the second half of all 4 of those takedowns are the very same thing. Take it down, control the bottom leg, elbow deep, come up to your knees, and then attack in the bottom leg cradle. So we just did a single leg post up. We're going to show you again from a different angle. Try to stay in the middle circle here from a high crotch. Now normally on a high crotch and changing off, he'd flare me, and he'd take me at least 5, 8, 10 feet outside the circle. So please forgive his lack of technique of going 10 feet because we're going to get out of range of the camera. We're going to try to stay in the center circle here. So if you say, well, that wasn't very good, change off and run across the mat, you're right, it wasn't, but we're trying to stay in the middle here because the technique we're teaching here is the bottom leg cradle. So, high crotch, boom here. He changes off to a double. He would normally take me over. Here, I land here. He controls the bottom leg, elbow deep, jumps back to his knees, I go, uh-oh. I start turning back, doesn't do me a bit of good. Turns into the bottom leg cradle, right angle, or from this right angle, he can also take this leg, step over the top leg. Oh, that tightens it up really tight. Okay, if he's in that same position, and before he gets his hands locked in the cradle, I go, uh-oh. I turn the other way. He goes right into his knee, holds my arm still. He's twisting me like a dish rag. When he wants to go, he lets go. I try to turn, and he turns into a cradle. Planes out, weight off his knees, legs spread, limbs on his tree. Okay. Okay, the very same thing we just covered. The very same thing. Bottom leg, maybe right. Bottom leg near cradle, bottom leg far cradle. Happens. Last thing we do is high crotch. Now it's double leg. So we post up, high crotch change, and now he just goes into the double leg, steps up, does the same thing, the same finish up as your high crotch. I mean, I don't think I need to show it, but just for demonstration purposes, he does a double leg. He knocks me down. I fight him here. He changes off. I try to turn my belt, but I hit him the bottom leg. If I would roll through, it'd be back to the maybe right. Same finish up. Okay. So now, we have post up, high crotch, double leg. Now here's a semi-sprawled high crotch. All right, he's in on high crotch. I've sprawled. I'm blocking him so he can't change off to a double and flare me down so he can go into the bottom leg cradle. So what we're going to do now, instead of changing off to the leg and knee, he's going to change off to my inside ankle from a semi-sprawled high crotch. He starts coming in, I go, oh! I sprawl down, I'm fighting. I'm posting the arm so he can't come in and double leg me and take me down. So his inside hand is going to come across the leg here. And now, it knocks me down. He's in the same position he was before. He's going to change hands here. Elbow goes deep, the other hand comes out. I go, uh-oh! Again, we're back in that same position. Okay, if I can get the whole way to my belly, it doesn't do me any good. He comes over top, grabs my leg, drives me forward, and takes me out. Okay? So, it doesn't matter how much he turns to his belly, as long as you're elbow deep on the bottom leg, you're going to get a bottom leg cradle. So we have sprawled single, sprawled high crotch, and it comes in and goes across there. Let's do that one more time. Just do the, show you how to trap the leg here. Just go a little different angle on it. High crotch here, I start sprawling. I'm posting so I can't change off that double, but he comes across to the inside, grabs that, knocks me down. And even if I hang on to it and start fighting here, he's already changed to the elbow deep on the knee. At this point, he windmills his right arm up over my face, and that will take me down into a position where he comes over top and locks the legs. And from here, if I turn that way, he goes into the knee. So, we have multiple ways of getting into that bottom leg from sprawled back. Now, we have a crossface crotch situation from the down position. We were doing takedowns a second ago. Now to a Turk. So, referee's position, I'm going to do a crossface crotch. I'm going to pick the bottom leg up and take it to a Turk. So I have a crossface crotch alignment here. I go down to the near knee. I come out of the crotch area, if you can see that, and I slide down to the near knee. As I slide down to the near knee, I'm going to keep driving him up. I got control of his left arm. Left arm's responsible for 9 to 12, halfway between, 10:30. I'm driving at 10:30. So I'm going to drive him that way, and I'm picking the knee. So I go from crossface crotch down to the knee. I pick the knee up as I drive at 10:30, and I step into a Turk. From here he goes, uh-oh! He turns back to his belly, and I'm trying to bring him back. Now, on these, everyone has different ways of getting the guy over a Turk. We're going to turn this into a cradle. Let me show you a little trick on Turk though. Okay, this is something I've always done because eventually when you get upper level here, high school, semifinal type kids and above, college kids, first thing he's doing is protecting his face here so I can't come in and I can't get his face. I have to pull him back. He's guarding himself here. So what I do to fake him out here is I make him think I'm going to try to get his face with my right hand, and I'm not. Okay, so I put my hand on the mat here. That allows me to stay upright. put my hand down here. He thinks I'm coming in with a hand. My free hand, I go in underneath him here, and I get him with the chin. Chin, elbow comes up, so that my face, my arm goes straight up past his nose, his mouth, between his eyes, and up the top of his forehead. I come in here, here, arm up, and then I pull. Now, I'm not on his throat, I'm not on his mouth, I'm not on his nose, but I've exposed his head. Now I can, boom, come back in with that arm and take him back over. You do the very same thing if you had legs in and you whipped him down. This has nothing to do with cradles, but it's a little bonus piece in here, even though you bought it for the tapes for cradles. Okay, legs in here, you're trying to pull him over. He says no, hand down. He doesn't see you coming in this way. Turn up on his knees, or 90 knees. Okay, from here, post, come in underneath, here. Once you grab his chin here, up across, see how I'm coming up across, right up the center of the face, and pull. I'm not on his nose, mouth, or throat. Okay, then I change. At that point, you have what you want, and you take him on over. But when you're going for a Turk, or you're riding regular legs, he's going to be doing this. He knows his arm's coming in, so his hands are up here on the right side. You're sneaking in behind from the underside, and pulling back. Little creep. Right, back to it on the cradles here. Crossface, crotch, down to the near knee, pick the near knee up, step in to your Turk, and you're fighting this situation here. Now, you can stay with the Turk, certainly, no problem. The chances of pinning somebody in a Turk are slim to none, and slim left town. Now, I'm not saying you can't get pinned, but it's really difficult. I want a cradle. Your hand's locked in a cradle. Cradles dust people, ends it. Okay, so I want to replace my left leg with my left arm. So I let him come off his back just for a second. I take the pressure off of him for a second, and then I go down, and now I don't get up off of him, but I'm going to for the demonstration here. I'm going to take my left hand and replace my left leg. So as I slide back, my left hand's going to slide down here and get in there between the leg, and I'm going to go elbow deep on the back of his knee joint. This one over here, but right here at the back of the knee. Elbow deep here. Once I got my elbow deep, then I can unhook the leg, unhook the Turk. Now I'm back to the same, right there. I'm back to the same thing we were in the double leg, the post up, a high crotch, the sprawl, high crotch. We're in the same position. He's laying on his side. I am controlling his bottom leg, and I'm elbow deep on his knee. Elbow deep, elbow deep, elbow deep at the knee. Kids won't do that. You have to stay on about it, elbow deep. Okay? If he goes completely to his belly, no problem. He starts crawling forward, no problem. Get a hold of him, hold him still. No, I'm grabbing his shirt here to give you the idea, but I'm just going to hang onto his lat here. Hold him still and start driving into him. It buckles him up into a bottom leg cradle. So, we have crossface, crotch. You're driving, slide down to the near knee, pick the knee up, step in. The higher you can attack on the thigh, the better it is with the Turk. I'm not going at the knee or lower. I'm coming up and catching him at the thigh, elevating. Okay, if you want to go in and get his chin, you can certainly do that. You can drop back off. I like to, because everything I do is going back to the cradles. Remember, the sixth element of a takedown, the sixth element of a ride, the sixth element of a reversal, all end in pins. If you want to get good at pinning, you add pinning to each technique that you do. Fireman's carry to a headlock, double leg to a bottom leg cradle. Okay, ankle pick to stepping up. You know, I'm holding his leg in the air. Everything you do, a switch, a side roll, all your takedowns, when you're drilling, you end in a pin, not back points. When you get them on, hold them down, and look for a second. Use your eyes. You've got 2 eyes to see, 2 ears to hear. Listen and see. In this case, look. If you don't hear this, the referee probably is saying shoulders aren't down. So I want you to practice. As soon as you put him on his back, you look with your eyes. Use your eyes for a second. Look down. Because if you're not hearing that, something's wrong. One shoulder is up, or 2. Look, see which one's up, and then you adjust accordingly. You push into him a little bit if it's the top shoulder. You just slide back a little bit if it's the near shoulder. So you adjust a little bit till you get those shoulders down. And then you cut him loose, come on back up, and you drill the takedown again. He drills it on you. And he goes and adds the 6th element. Remember, stance, motion, number 2. Level change, number 3. Penetration, number 4. Finish up, number 5. You get your 2-point takedown. 5 elements, 2 points. You add the 6th element, that's 1 more element, you get 3 bonus points, or you have an opportunity to make it a terminal takedown. End the match, that's the idea, end the match. So we add the pin to the end of all your drills. Add the pin to the end of all your drills, and your team and you as an athlete will become a feared pinner. You'll be very good at what you're doing. Okay, so we have the Turk. Now, if I take the Turk, Jake, and I take it through, and he goes on through, if I push it a little too far and he goes away, it's the same thing we were doing before on that bottom leg cradle. If he turns the other way, we turn into kind of a navy. If I do a really good job with the Turk, I reach down to his knee, I pick it up, I attack behind the thigh here, behind the thigh, and before he goes on through, I'm holding him here, maybe I get his foot here, and I start bringing him here, and I'm getting back points. What I want to do is, again, I'm getting back points, and I'll ride him till the cows come home, but I won't pin him here. I can ride him the whole period here. I want to stick him. And I want my coach to go, attaboy, you got a 16 points. I like that. Good idea, coach. What I want to do when I'm here is, instead of keeping his foot, I come back, I let go of the foot for a second, I come in, and I'm splitting here, I'm going on the inside of his leg. I'm coming from here to here. And then I let my fingers do the walking through the yellow pages. Let my fingers do the walking. 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 And I lock my hands. Now I've got a Turk, bottom leg, far side, cradle. And if you look at the color of his face, it's changing from white to red. There's a reason for that. Okay, so we have the Turk here, we have on his back. We go from this position to this position. Walk, 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 walk. Walk, 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 walk. Okay? Until you get your hands locked. So you have the Turk, let your fingers do the walking, lock your hands, finger curl, thumb at the top, bury your fingers, thumb at the bottom. Why did we tell you to do that earlier in the tapes? Block it so he can't get a hold of a finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, break him free. Roll, start here, roll, thumb, hole, here. Again, we're practicing during commercials of your favorite TV show. Just practice doing this. Quick, get them locked, get them locked, get them locked. And then look, say, okay, can you see my fingernails? If I can see any fingernails, you know I'm doing it right. Practice, practice, practice. Doesn't take any, you don't break a sweat at home watching TV doing that. But it does make you better at cradles. Okay, we can also do a standing fireman's carry into a bottom leg cradle. This is one of those, you might call it a clinic move, but it works. But that's up to you. You can do it from, here, and you snap, he gets chin. Sometimes you'll be in this position where you get his head down, and you'll be in a head in the hold position, but you're from standing here. Okay? If I pull him down, what do you think he's going to be doing? Push it back up. If I'm pushing into him, he's going to come back into me. So a reaction, typically, your opponent will give you an opposite or equal reaction. So I'm pulling his head down on this for a second. He's trying to get his head back up because I'm leaning down on his head. And when I'm ready to go, I let his head come back up. I keep my hand on his head here, and I'll push, pull, he comes up, and I'm coming in. A fireman's carry. Fireman's carry, knee, head starts to come down, he rolls through. Okay? And from here, elbow deep, bottom leg cradle, here, right angle, spread your legs, put limbs on his tree, get as much weight as you can on his chest, and a little better from chest on chest is chest on face. Go from here to here. Now he can't see, he can't breathe, he has no clue what's going on. Now, he has a choice. I can either lay there and he says, I can't breathe. The ref, or he says, I don't think I like this, so he turns his head. Now he can breathe. A guy that has his head straight up like this can bridge. When his head's turned to the side, he can bridge, but he's bridging off of his shoulders. So he has a choice. It's a minor technicality. You're not allowed to cut his breathing off because that's illegal, clearly. But he has a choice. He can turn his head. Now I can breathe. Well, if I turn my head, I can't bridge. Not my problem. That's your problem. Okay? Lay on his face. He'll turn his head. He turns his head so he can breathe because he'd rather breathe and get pinned than not breathe and not get pinned. So he has a choice. They always turn their head. When they turn their head, they can't bridge anymore, and that's good for me. Okay? So I just say, okay, I think you want to turn your head, don't you? Now he can breathe, but he can't bridge. So we do that from the front headlock. All right, defending cradles. How do we defend cradles from the guys that are on top of you? Well, when you get a good guy with cradles on you, you're in trouble to start with. There are some defenses you can get in there, but if he knows his offense better than you know the defense, it's just like a double leg. If I spend half hour every day on defending double leg, and he spends an hour every day shooting double legs, the chances of me being able to defend it are not that good. Same with cradles. You get a good cradler, you know, prevention is the best cure, just like anything. We have 3 types of defensive situations in cradles. We have preventative cradles, we have aggressive counters, and we have passive counters. Okay, so preventive counters, aggressive, and passive. Preventive is like, you know, stop it from happening. Okay, how are we going to stop it from happening when you can usually see most of your cradles coming? If a guy's over here, and let's say he's looking for a near cradle. Okay, from near cradle, it doesn't matter. He's in a near cradle, he's going to come over top of my head, and he's looking to come down and lock his hands on a near cradle. As soon as that hand comes over, there's only one move in wrestling he's going to do with his hand draped over my head, and that's a cradle. No bar arms, no half Nelsons, he's looking for a cradle. Okay, so right away I should go, uh-oh, cradles. And what I want to do is come up and grab his fingers. Okay, now, if I come up and grab with both hands, as I showed you, then he's going to come under and have a bicep cradle on. Because I'm bringing my arms in to get his fingers, which gives him my bicep, he takes that, and now he's got a cradle on. It's a bicep cradle. Okay, so first thing I want to do is not bring my inside arm in. I reach down and I get his fingers. Do not grab his wrist. Do not grab his wrist, because you haven't stopped the cradle. He's going to use his fingers to hang on. Okay, so you've got to control the fingers, not the hand, not the wrist, the fingers. Okay, and you have to have at least 4. Or the referee's going to get bent out of shape over this. Okay, so as soon as he starts scraping over, come up and get his fingers. Now you stop the grip from taking place. All right, once you get to here, you don't stop. Now, I do quickly. I usually go up with my other hand and grab it, although I'm giving him a bicep cradle, but I'm not spending any time here. Grab, pull, and put the arm to the other side of my head. As long as the arm's on this side of my head, he's got a shot at the cradle. I get his arm on the other side of my head. Now I can fight him here. You know, he can even grab my bicep. It doesn't do him any good. He doesn't have a cradle anymore. I can come out of here and start fighting. So the idea is fingers, grab, pull over, and get it to the other side of my head. So when you're down here and you're wrestling, all of a sudden you see this hand draping over here. You know what he's going for. Okay? First thing you're going to do is preventive medicine. Fingers, 2 hands, take it to the other side. Now you got hand control. Now you can start coming up and looking to shear through. Okay, so finger control first. Okay, if he's going near, we can take that off. Okay, and we can sit if we wanted to. If he drapes, so if I reach up and grab his fingers and get him stopped from grabbing, now I've stopped the cradle, and what I'm going to do is sit out now. Here and sit. That takes his leg, hand off my leg, allows me to start coming out, or if I want one, I head that way. If I want 2, I head back into him. But sitting out doesn't do me a bit of good if he has his hands locked, because he has the forward roll. So before the hands get locked, that's the preventive part. Don't let him get his hands locked. Fingers control. Not hand, not wrist. Fingers. Okay, he drapes over, you wrestle him here, I go, uh-oh. Fingers, as soon as I get fingers, I step to the outside, close my hand, and I'm sitting. That clears that hand. Now I can either go this way and get my 1, or I can work up and see if I can attack. Maybe I will, maybe I won't be successful, but by sitting out here and start throwing up, coming around, maybe I can get a little flurry for a reversal. If you're looking the safe way to get out, you're heading out of dodge. Finger control, sit on the far cradle. Okay, if you step up and you start seeing he's going for a far cradle, you get to hear he's draping. Again, when the hand comes over, all right, now I know he's going far cradle. Now I do just reverse. Fingers and duck it over the other side. Okay, now I do the same sit out. Okay, when I'm here, I start stepping up and he starts getting there, I go, O-S. You know, we know what that stands for earlier in tape. Fingers, fingers, fingers. Get the hand to the other side. Okay, now, out. Okay, so, near cradle here, fingers, take it out to there. Now I feel very vulnerable now. I don't think I have control of him at all. Even if I had the weight on him, I don't think I have very much here. Okay, if he steps out to that outside and start coming over here, fingers, put the other side. Okay, and now I'm lost. So it's putting the hand on the opposite side of the head from where he drapes it. If he drapes it on this side, he's clearly looking for near. That's probably his favorite. Take it to the other side. If he's draping on this side, take it to the other side. Okay, these are preventative things. On a crossface cradle series, when the guy puts a crossface on you, guys, you're in trouble. He can't do anything if this isn't here. When this is here, you're going to be ridden and you're going to be turned. This is the key for him, and if that's the key, you've got to get it out of the lock. Reach up, take it off. Now, we talked about before, each finger's worth 10 pounds of pressure. So I lock this when you're trying to pull my hands apart. You have to pull it 100 pounds, 101 really, to make me break my hands. But if you're weaker than him, you can roll the fingers and make the fingers pop, 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 one at a time. We talked about that earlier in the DVDs. Same thing's true here. When he has his hand over here, if I try to pull it off, I got to pull it 50 pounds to have all the 5 fingers come off the elbow, unless I roll the hand off. Okay, if he's up here, I want to reach up and I want to grab his paddle. It's like a canoe paddle, broad here, water. I want to grab the canoe paddle and I'm twisting it. So I'm taking all 5, or at least these 4 fingers. I'm coming up and I'm coming to the inside and I'm peeling down. See how the fingers are coming off one at a time? Here. Boom, 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 boom. And off. I can't just come up and try to peel it off because I've got to fight all 5 fingers. I want to fight one at a time. I come up, inside, and twist it. Okay. So, when you're down, even if you're broken down, and he's got the cross face on you, and you're going, uh-oh, you reach up, you still have to peel off one at a time. I'm getting all 4 fingers on the inside of his thumb, and now I'm going to start turning. First thing that comes off is his thumb. I don't know if you can see the slow motion. Thumb comes off, then the index finger, then the middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Okay? I can't just reach up here and pull it off. I've got to rotate it off. All right. So, these are preventive measures for defending cradles. Okay? Hand to the other side, finger control, not hand, not wrist control. If you're down, you've got a cross face, you take it off. Okay. On aggressive counters, on a far cradle, is if he's over here and he's coming across in a far cradle, I step up, he comes over, he's going to come to the side the cradle's on, and if he comes out this way and starts to sit, you know, to pull me back, what I want to do is hook a leg here. I take my leg, hook his foot. Now, we're in the second level here. This is aggressive counters. He's already got it locked, he's going to take you over. This is one of those OS positions that you're scrambling for your life at this point. Okay, when he goes in there, you hook the foot. But if I hook the foot, he can just take his foot and step back over, and I no longer have the hook. So when I hook, I have to grab my foot. So when we go on back, I keep the foot here. And now I have a free leg here I'm going to drive off of, and I'm going to keep driving back into him. Okay, he's got a cradle on me, but he's flat. I'm not. The ref might for a second or two go 1001, 1002. I may lose 2 back points here, and then the ref's going to go, and I'm going to win on defensive pin. Okay, so what I want to do here is keep pressuring into him, and sooner or later he's going to go OS, and he's going to break out of that. He has to let go of that cradle, or he's in trouble. If he sits through and gives me that leg, it's the same grab thing. He comes out here and hooks that way, I hook. So I can hook this leg or this leg, whatever leg happens to be there. Hook and grab. Hook and grab. Hook and grab. Keep your hand. If you just have it just hooked there, he kicks it free. Now he goes back into the offense here. If I can keep it hooked here, now he's flat on his back. I'm not, he is. Okay? So, it's getting the foot hooked and grabbing where your bunions would be to your big toe, right in here, above the arch of the shoe. Here, big toe down to the arch. You grab this, and now you have him on his back. Okay. If he comes another way, if you like that, that's something if you can get a hold of his feet. If not, as soon as he's hopping through, you learn to arm through on a guy. He's going to do the very same thing. He's going to jump across on your side. Okay. As I step up, he starts coming. As soon as he starts jumping over, I go from here, and I go to cat back. Okay, I don't have to come up. I throw my back up like a cat going. Okay, same thing. When I do that, that gives me a cat. Then I can get my arm through. Okay? If I keep my back flat, I can't get my arm through. I've got to raise my back up, like a cat. Here, and the arm comes through. And you do not grab his head. Do not try to pin him. He still has you. Now, he'll have his hands locked in a minute, but I'm trying to look at the camera and talk to you. Keep your hand out here as a base, because he's going to take you that way. It's his only choice. So as you go on, you're here. And you got it. Now, if you would lock your hand around his head, trying to pin him here, and he rolls, you don't have a post over there. And over you go. You've got to keep the post out there. Now he's not getting through it. But coach, how do I get him out of here? Your free hand comes in through here. So, post and keep it. Free hand comes in this way. Now you go to your half Nelson. That also breaks the grip. As long as you're on this side of the arms, he keeps that grip and he might get you over. Get your hand in and through. Now you can start working for your half Nelson. Okay. So, as he jumps over, you go from flat back to cat back. Cat. And you get your arm through. Keep your arm out, 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 keep your arm out. Then take your hand and go in between his arms. Okay? And that is a aggressive counter to a far cradle. It's aggressive in that he already has the hands locked and you're going, I don't think I like that position. But again, if you're going to get cradle guys, and you're going to, you have a kid who's going to see a cradle guy in semis in the districts or whatever, and you know it's coming, then you have, work on the finger control, get to the other side of the head. If it gets his hands locked on the far, your arm through. If it's a near cradle, you do the same thing. Now, I'm going to show you a near cradle arm through, and you're going to go as a coach, I don't know if I'm going to teach that to my kids. But I'm going to come back here shortly and I'm going to show you some drills for cradles that kids can practice rolling around and getting comfortable with it. Once they start learning these drills, where they look for cradles, they get the cradles, they take the guy over, they start rolling around, they feel comfortable, then you'll say, what I'm showing you right this moment makes a lot more sense. But right now, if you have a rookie defensive guy, you want to probably don't put this in your arsenal. I've had a lot of success with it because I love cradles. And if I'm a good cradle guy, I've been in it long enough, once I get my arm out, I got the cradle on him, and I believe in my own cradles because I've locked my hands up enough. So if you have a cradler, show him this defense. If he's not a cradler at all, then probably put this on the shelf and bring it out another time for another kid. Okay, he's got a near cradle on me. Here, what I want to do is I want to get my arm out. This is either going to save me or bury me. I go flat back to cat back again, and I get my arm through. I'm pulling my arm through, up, and I get his chin. I have his head. He's got my head. Now, from here, here's the key. This is pretty easy to do. If you don't do this next step, you're in trouble. Okay, I'm going to take my right leg that he's got cradled, and I'm going to slip it in here and hook his foot over here, and just underneath. Okay. From here, hook. I want his leg hooked. Once I hook his leg, then I can start sitting up. And now I'm going to turn this in to a cradle as well. So now I have cradled the cradler. I have a cradle, he has a cradle. And we have a drill coming up called a cradle-re-cradle drill in this exact position. And in a cradle-re-cradle drill, whoever gets their leg hooked in wins the drill. I've already got my leg hooked right here. So I've already won the drill. You'll see the drill in a minute. So sit, and now I'm taking him up. He can't roll me back on my back because I got his leg hooked. If I let go of that leg, he can bridge off that and win the position with me. Or I can roll and win the position with him. So this is the basis of that cradle-re-cradle drill that you'll see. It's who has the leg hooked. So, if I had a near cradle on him, same thing. Near cradle here, he gets his arm through, we have my chin, and he gets my leg hooked. Once the leg is hooked, now I'm in trouble. Now he's going to keep his head up, and dropping down my side. And he locks up, and since he has the leg hooked here, my goose is cooked. Okay?
So when he comes over, I can't roll on through. He lets go of that. And I'll roll him on through. And I'll come up with it. And then I'll go with it. That one's okay. That one's okay. It don't matter which leg you use, just get a leg hook in. So, it's a cradle-re-cradle drill. The other thing is, before you get that leg hooked in, he drives you down and you go, oh no! You don't get the leg hooked in. Well, he's got to drive you down pretty quick in order to keep me from getting my leg hooked in. When he does that, I'm going to do a kind of a modified Granby roll. I have his chin. I'm going to give it a pull as I go into my Granby. It rolls me on through. So when I do this, I'm going to be moving pretty rapidly this direction. And I'll probably stop out here where the clock is. Okay. Here, I get my arm through, and before I get a chance to get my leg hooked here, he pulls my head down. Okay, good stuff. All right. As he pulls my head down, don't do it yet, I then start pulling his head. I pull his head. Okay, and I'm doing a Granby. I clamps and I do a Granby. I'm trying to sit up. If I can sit up, that's what I prefer. If he says BS, I'm not letting you sit, and he takes his elbow and starts bringing his head down, and I can't sit up, then I gotta go, Holy Mary, Mother of God, and then I go. This is one of those, you're on your way to your back anyhow, what the heck? Arm in, and roll. Now you get into this position. Back to the cradle-re-cradle drill. You get a cradle on him, get a leg hooked in, you win the match. Okay? So the idea is to get your leg hooked in. It's one of those, okay, I'm on my way down, what am I going to do here? It's really easy to do, but it's something you have to do at least 2 or 3 times before you get it in a match situation. So we'll see how he does it. He's never seen this before. He's going to have to do it now on camera. What do you think, Dad? No pressure. Okay, here, he gets the arm through, he gets my chin. Now I'm going to say, I'm not letting him get the leg hooked in here, because I know what he's doing. I'm going to say, BS, you're going to your head right away. So I'm going to start lowering his head down. As I start taking his head down, he's going to have his arm come in here, and he's going to start pulling this without breaking my neck, thank you. Okay, and on the way down here, and he's going to end up here. Okay, I'm going to get back to my base. I'm going to do this to get back to my base. Come on back. See what I did? I can't stay here. I got to get to my base. So I've got to flip-flop my feet to get back up to my base. And as I flip-flop my feet, I'm bringing my left knee, right knee, close to my head, where he can turn around and cradle it up. As soon as he gets there, he knows get a leg hooked here. Now he wins. He got that leg hooked up over here. If he doesn't have that, I might win. I still have a chance of rolling him through. If I roll him through, I'll get the leg hooked. If I get the leg hooked, I win. He doesn't, I don't get my leg hooked. I'll start driving in. Now he got me, because he's got my leg hooked over here. So, as a coach, you're probably going, okay then, looks good. Well, I'm not sure, if you have cradlers who know cradles, you want to teach them that. A youngster who has no kinesthetic sense, you know what I'm talking about. You probably want to shelve that for a little later. Okay. Now, near in flat position, in near leg down position, and I got a leg hooked in. All right, here, got my cradle here. What he's trying to do in this position to be aggressive is to, really stop and get pinned. He's trying to get his leg hooked in on me, and he's trying to arch. If I have my near cradle, he's not in good position. All right, let me back up for a second. Near cradle or far cradle or crossface cradle, when he's in the down position, his job is to dig a hole and get in it. Dig a hole, get in it. There is no space, not a nanny of an inch, between his belly, his chest, and the mat. He's taking his belly button and going, suction cupping it to the mat. He's getting his arms and his limbs out on his tree. He's becoming that 4x8 sheet of plywood we talked about earlier, who doesn't want to roll. Okay, that gives you some, that's not bad. Every inch you're off the mat, it makes it easier for me to turn you over. If you get there and there's 10 seconds in the mat, and I off my hands, you go, OS, boom. Hit your belly, suction cup your belly button down, get your hands out and pray. Okay, he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, that'll stop me, even though the guy knows what he's doing, for 10 or 15 seconds so he figures it out. 10 or 15 seconds left in the period, you win. Okay, but if you stay on your knees, or you give me 2 inches of sunshine between your belly and the mat, I'm going to turn you over immediately. Okay, so what you're doing on near or far is down there. Next thing you want to do is I want to be in all pinning combinations at a right angle, a T. You know, when you turn him over, right angle, chest on chest, you know that story. All right, so in order to turn him over, I want to do it from a right angle. The counter to this is not letting that right angle to occur. He's going to take his right leg, and when it's closest to me, he's going to hook in on my leg, and he's going to arch his back, and you'll see what happens. It goes from a T to an I, 2 bodies laying next to each other. So when I have my hands locked here in a near cradle, and I'm starting to take him over, he's going to get his leg hooked in here. He just came in and hooked his leg right here. Okay. Once he gets his leg hooked, then he's going to arch. Okay. And what he's trying to do, he's trying to move his body that, not up, but out that. You see, if you've lifted off the mat, you're going to get in trouble. Just scoot. There. So now I'm here. I'm laying next to him. I'm no longer out here at a right angle. I was at a right angle here. He turns and looks that way and starts scooting that way. Now, from here, that's very difficult. Stay right there, don't move. From here, it's very difficult to turn him over when we're parallel. And the other thing, Stephen, we talked about the hand grip. We always lock your cradles. Near cradle, not the far cradle. Near cradle is locked with your hands next to his head. You come on back in. Here, I want to lock my hands up here next to his head. He can't straighten his leg and break my grip. But when he hooks his leg and starts turning that way, my grip slides from this lock here down to mid-level. And that's when my fingers get pressured and it gets broken. So, from here, you hook your leg and you turn your head away and you start scooting away from him this way. Keep your belly down, keep him low. Jump on me. Near cradle, I go, uh-oh! You know, I get the leg hooked here before he starts diving over top me. I want to start looking the other way and start crawling at it. The more I crawl this way, it breaks the hands. Okay, I'm trying to get parallel to him. I'm trying to eliminate the right angle. Okay. Okay, defense again of the cradles is we talked about some of the things you can do. Hand across, cross-face, pull the hand off, get the fingers, not the wrist, not the hand. Down here, you get your arms through on a far cradle, arms through on a near cradle. Again, you have to have a certain type of kids that can do that. The last thing is, when in doubt, dig a hole, crawl into it. Talked about that a moment ago. All right, Jake down through it. Okay, when he's down here, anytime I lock the cradle up, even if let's go back up, I'm sorry. If I take a near cradle, here, as soon as he goes, uh-oh, and it's 10 seconds to go, belly down. I mean, dig a hole and get in it. The lower you are, every half inch you get lower, you go up 4% chance of not being turned over. So boom, 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 boom. Get down here, you know, and it's not like freestyle where, you know, if I start to tap one side, you swim your hips the other way, and then swim, you know, swim here, your legs, swim your legs back the other way. So you're turning your hips back and forth, but your belly button keeps suction cupped down to the mat, okay? And then you start crawling forward. You know, sometimes this analogy doesn't work, but sometimes it does. You know, ducks in a pond, floating, boom, easy to shoot. They're flying, they're more difficult. In this situation, if he stays in the flat suction cup position, eventually I'm going to figure out how to turn him over, pick him up, take him on over. If he's crawling forward a little bit, moving one way, moving the other, motion will get your butt out of trouble here because you're not letting me set up my move. It's setting up versus the flying duck scenario. So when I get down here, and he's belly down, every time I start to hook into something, he's crawling. It becomes more difficult to lock up and get what I want. So, don't sit down and go, ah, and just freeze. Won't do you any good. Suction cup down, belly, slow movement. You don't have to crawl across the mat and get out of bounds. Just slow movement left, slow movement right. You're moving around, keeping your belly down. Don't get up to crawl and jump back down. Get up, crawl, go back down. As soon as you come up, you're going over. You stay down. Stay on your belly, crawling left, crawling right, but stay down. The lower you get into that, the better off you are in defense and cradles.